industrialization, pollution, climate change and hazards, inequality, political corruption, wars, disconnection from nature. Has the so-called developed world made us happy? There is economic disparity in all countries. The extreme wealthy manipulate politicians, and the result is environmental destruction, climate change, health hazards, wars, unhappiness. Let's see deep into the problem and what are the solutions. Fossil fuel corporations are profiting from the continued consumption of coal, oil and gas, which are driving global warming to dangerous levels. But the industry's bad behavior doesn't stop with greenhouse gas emissions. Fuel companies donate to political parties, and thus, the industry is maintained continuously. Corrupt tyrants, with greedy, expansionist ideas, use the money generated easily from their fossil fuels, and mining, to buy arms and provoke wars. Industrial revolution, elites and social unrest. The last 2 centuries have been a period of unprecedented economic, cultural, social, and political change. Starting with the British Industrial Revolution, a large number of countries have adopted industrial growth and overall production has increased. With the emergence of wealthy businessmen who made large profits from industries, they have begun to influence the political systems with their money. And now, it is a question whether, actually, the elected politicians represent the people's will, or do the politicians represent the will of the rich elite? Disadvantages of industrialism and capitalism. Industries focuses primarily on profits, and not on environment or people. Therefore, business owners may exploit labor, and workers would face harsh conditions and poor wages. Capitalism creates inherent class conflict between capital and labor, generates enormous wealth disparities, and social inequalities can lead to corruption and mafias, in the pursuit of profit. Wealthy businessmen may sponsor and promote corrupt politicians, and maintain their bad businesses, and monopolies. Produces negative effects such as pollution, horrible living conditions for workers, poor nutrition and lodging for workers, a stressful, unsatisfying lifestyle, dangerous workplaces, child labor, environmental harm, results and effects of climate change. As greenhouse gas emissions blanket the earth, they trap the sun's heat. This leads to global warming and climate change. The world is now warming faster than at any point in recorded history. Warmer temperatures over time are changing weather patterns and disrupting the usual balance of nature. This poses many risks to human beings and all other forms of life on Earth. Higher average temperatures, longer lasting droughts, more intense wildfires, stronger storms, and flooding, melting sea ice, sea level rise, food shortages, diseases become more prevalent in a warming world. Natural disasters have increased. The deadly pandemic COVID-19 emerged when climate change and air pollution was high. Long-term exposure to air pollution will affect your immune system and therefore will make you more susceptible to diseases. COVID-19 first appeared on a small scale in November 2019 with the first large cluster appearing in China, Wuhan, in December 2019, and during this period, China was the world's manufacturing superpower. According to data published by the United Nations, China accounted for 28.7% of global manufacturing output in 2019, with highest industrial or factory output. From 2020, as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, there were lockdowns, people were not permitted to go out, all over the world, some of which lasted about 3 months, and as a result many factories were closed and even many were forced to shut down permanently. From 2019, the COVID-19 pandemic spread all over the world, and by 2024, over 7 million patients were confirmed dead the world over, of which the highest total was reported from the USA. According to the UN, there is an increasing toll of non-communicable diseases, such as cancer, diabetes and respiratory illnesses, air, soil, and water pollution in community, household, and occupational settings, and toxic chemical pollution are among the leading risk factors globally. Therefore, we must understand this important lesson taught by nature itself. In 2024, with climate change worsening, we experienced unprecedented flooding in East Africa, South America, Brazil, UAE, Dubai, etc., having millions of people affected, and many dead or displaced. The proportion of people across the globe living in flood-prone areas has risen by 20% to 24% since 2000, as climate change drives extreme rainfall, rising sea levels and more intense hurricanes. According to UN's Catastrophe Insight, economic and insurance losses from severe storms are rapidly increasing, both in Europe and globally. In industrial terms, GDP, gross domestic production, measures the monetary value of final goods and services, but actually, it's not a measurement of well-being and security. Even highly developed cities in rich countries are facing social issues such as lack of jobs, homelessness, and drug addiction. A better measurement for progress would be the social progress measurement, in terms of environment friendliness, access to clean fresh air, with high oxygen levels, clean water, and basic necessities such as food, clothes, shelter, education, information, medicine, connection and respect to nature, the rule of law and the supremacy of the law, or the equality before the law. Therefore, it's time general public change their lifestyles to make an impact on the hazardous industries. We should switch to clean and peaceful energy such as home solar systems, firewood etc., and stop promoting hazardous mining, hazardous industries, extreme wealthy, and corrupt politicians. We must switch to a simple and basic local economic system, dependent on renewable local resources, an economy that is easy, sustainable, healthy and coexists with nature. Happiest people are community-minded, environmentally friendly. World's happiest countries, Finland, Denmark, Netherlands, Norway, Switzerland, are also environmentally friendly, being among the top 10 countries using bicycles. We may have to change our lifestyles a little, somewhat back to the pre-industrial, simple old times, and adopt a simple life and save the environment and our own health. However, it's time we think unconventionally, for a happier and healthier future. What can we do to create an ideal society? A people-friendly, eco-friendly economy and society. How can we make a change, as consumers and ordinary citizens? Buy simple equipment, that are easy to repair and maintain, long-lasting, and thus, disposal and mining can be minimized. This also reduces cost of living and makes life simple and easy. We must switch to environmentally friendly travel and transport, and cycling is the most practical and healthy way to do it. Cycling is a low-cost mode of transport, and this gives a sense of freedom. In a market economy and under capitalism, the prices of goods and services is based on supply and demand. Most of us cannot change the industries, but we can change what we buy and make a huge impact on factory productions. The consumers must be more cautious when buying products. We should buy local products as far as possible. This will also compel the local businesses to do operations in an ethical manner, as the local people could monitor the production operations closely, and even prevent pollution. And this will also reduce environmental cost on traveling and transport. Buy products of small businesses. Give profits to local small businesses. Then more people will become rich, and there will be less inequality and less poor. The community and facilities will improve when more people are rich or empowered. Also, as small businesses would use less machines and more manpower, the pollution would be much less, and the production process would be more environment friendly, and more people would be employed. Buy handmade or homemade items as far as possible. These items are produced with less electricity or without heavy machinery, and less traveling or commuting. Therefore, there will be fewer toxic emissions. It also makes more households rich. Reduce buying products produced in large-scale factories, as that creates extremely rich, and eventually leads to corrupt political cultures and even funding terrorism and wars. We should buy eco-friendly products, and encourage their production. This means buying items that are produced from biodegradable substances such as trees, vegetation, etc. And this would result in less mining of fossil fuels, minerals, metals etc., and less pollution. When you gift something, present eco-friendly biodegradable items such as plants, healthy foods such as rich fruits, or even flowers. Other items and their packaging can be discarded to garbage and cause environmental damage. Use eco-construction materials such as wood, timber, clay, mud, bamboo, straw, etc. for construction, and avoid using cement as far as possible, as it does not decay, and harm the environment and human body. Concrete rapidly warm interiors, but mud is incredibly flexible and provides superior insulation than steel and concrete constructions. Besides, mud is environment friendly, cheap and not harmful to health. Let's grow trees, and start tree foresting to harness clean energy. We also should use trees as a renewable substance for every possible product and packaging. Trees capture and store a significant amount of the carbon emissions, and more trees give us more oxygen, better cool air, and uplift our health and lifespan. Let's limit consumption to essentials, and save the environment from waste, pollution and overmining. How can we make a change as producers? Display the following on your product packaging, so that consumers can make a more informed, eco-friendly and people-friendly decision. If the product is a homemade or handmade item, display out, in a prominent place of your product, a label informing that it is a handmade or homemade item. This will surely inspire others. Display the location of production, so that it will encourage people in the locality to buy the local products. Display what scale the business is, large, medium or small, so that smaller businesses are given priority over the wealthy large industries. Further, the business capital and investment can be displayed, so that the consumer can easily determine whether it's a small business or not. Display how the biodegradable raw materials were sourced. For example, wood, timber etc. should be sourced by regrowing trees, and not by deforestation. When producing items such as electrical equipment, vehicles, etc., use uniform parts, and spare parts across brands, so that it is easy to find spare parts, reuse, repair, maintain and use for long. Thus, wastage is minimized. This principle can also be applied in the use of reusable vessels such as glass bottles, which can be recycled, refilled across brands. Purchase or collect kitchen waste of households, to make compost and use it as a fertilizer, the eco-friendly fertilizer. Use manual power as far as possible, to reduce the use of polluting energy sources. Let's limit production to essentials, as far as possible, and save the environment from waste, pollution and overmining. How can the rich and educated support the environment and people? There are many wealthy and kind people looking for an opportunity to help a worthy cause, and the best option would be to upgrade the environment to be green. A green environment is one with higher levels of fresh oxygen, and this has many health benefits, such as improving oxygen levels in body, boosting brain function, reducing the risk of heart failure, improving healing, reducing mental stress, and much more. The rich could donate for the reforestation, or establishment of green gardens in the local community, and people in the community can unite for this. Banks can provide financial assistance to eco-friendly and small local businesses, and help the environment and ordinary people. People can grow and donate plants for households, and make the environment green. Also selling homegrown firewood, timber etc. can generate incomes for many households. The rich can donate a land or building for an eco-friendly market, which means, this market would only sell eco-friendly goods. The rich can donate for eco-friendly small businesses, and help them grow. The educated professionals can give ideas and introduce new innovations, for small, environment-friendly, home businesses. Donate and help people engaged in the recycling business, such as garbage collectors, and those who collect metals, glass, paper, plastic, wood, timber etc. Make the local area self-sufficient as far as possible, as this would reduce travel, transport and vehicle emissions. For example, the most essential institutes such as school, hospital, market, food production, clothes production, eco-construction material suppliers, can be established in the local area, through the united effort of a local community. This would also help reduce business monopolies and mafias. People should start growing vegetables, fruit, wood, etc., in their own homes and be self-sufficient as far as possible. This would improve food quality, as homegrown foods would not contain toxics, and also would reduce transport and vehicle emissions. The IT industry can help immensely for an eco-friendly lifestyle. It is time these companies invested more on finding solutions and ways of creating virtual offices, and virtual services, which will reduce the need for travel, and reduce fuel costs. Also, it will be highly useful, if IT professionals could introduce new social websites, dedicated for recycling, reuse and eco-objectives. Please comment and add your contact for others, if you wish to unite and make a change. If you want to develop an eco-friendly business, or donate for such cause, you may comment or email to following, with a picture, description, and contact. Your needs will be advertised freely. ecolife.ideas@gmail.com